Hi, welcome to the C-List. My name's Josh.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're going to be looking at the made-for-TV horror film, Copperhead. That's not... we're not going to lie to you. It's not great.
I hated it. I got angry at Josh because he made me watch it.
I didn't make you... I just said that if we're going to do snake films, then we should probably do the cowboy snake film, which is also a PG. It's not PG for any creative reason, it's literally PG because they couldn't afford, like, R-rated stuff, like gore, blood, decent special effects, nudity. Just can't afford it.
What makes most of the snake films quite amusing.
Yeah, you know, the random chuckings of things. I mean, there's no snake oral sex like in Burr vs. Python.
Yeah, well, there's just no... I don't know, there's not much of anything, really.
Do you want to explain the plot to this one?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
From what plot there is?
Right, you've got a guy called Billy, who's played by Brad Johnson, who's riding... we first see him riding across the desert, comes across some people, a dying man who tells him that the snakes passed through there. So he's like, oh dear, watches this man down and then goes and fetches him water. Annoyed me greatly.
Where do the snakes go?
Billy I don't know. Billy continues into a small village where he goes to get a drink, but then tells them... Oh, he goes to find his mate Murphy, who happens to be dead. But he sort of tells people, the snakes are coming, we need to get out of here. Then the bad guy, a bloke called Jesse, played by Billy Drago, who looks just like a David Carradine.
It is David Carradine. Who's called David Carradine?
Okay, well, no, okay, we'll call him Carradine.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially he keeps him there. They have a little rubbishy shootout. Snakes come, snakes eat people. Then they fight Big Snake. They kill Big Snake. That's the plot. You don't need to see it now.
Nicely done. The only reason we're doing this is so nobody else has to see this level of evil.
Yeah, I mean, I quickly want to say that I hated this probably more than I hated Python 2, which I really didn't like. Neither of us did particularly.
In my personal opinion, I would say it's not quite as bad as Python 2 because I still get interested by the sort of cowboy element to it, and so I just like to look at all the fancy costumes and the set.
If it was done well, I'd understand, but it's not done that well. I mean, it's one of the most rubbishy westerns I've seen.
What about Tremors 4?
I've never seen it all the way through. What I've seen of it was better.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's worse than Brothers in Arms, which just, they didn't even try on the costumes.
Brothers in Arms was funny though. I love the ending shootout.
Yeah, with David Carradine amusingly.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just didn't like this film. Do you want to go into some of the reasons why we didn't like the film?
Well, I'll start off with, I didn't like the film because, as serious as it sounds, there's no blood or gore. There's no snakes, like, exploding. There's no snakes really killing people. I mean, they do, like, bite people.
There are snakes exploding.
Yeah, but it's not as gory as other films. Like in Mega Snake, when the dude's arm gets ripped off, or people getting eaten whole or squeezed to death in, like, anacondas and stuff.
Yeah, that was annoying.
And there's nobody who does a flying dropkick to the snake's head, so...
No, but they do shoot it with a harpoon.
That's true.
That made it ever so slightly amusing, but I mean, just before
they'd made like a Moby Dick quote, that would have been brilliant.
But yeah, just before that there's a rubbish explosion, which is all CGI, but rubbish CGI. They even put dirt on the camera lens. You know, when the bar blows up. For me, it felt like it's felt a mixture of Tremors and Assault on Precinct 13 set in the Wild West, but not as good as any of them, including the Wild West, which a lot of people said wasn't actually that fun. But it looks a lot of fun in films.
I just think that it's too cheap in the way that they have a hooker who doesn't actually do anything hookery. She just wears the sort of, cowboy burlesque sort of outfit. They have lots of guns, which don't really,
Do nothing.
there's no big close-ups or any special effects or anything. And the shootout is terribly cheap and boring. The CGI is terrible. Costumes are nice.
One of the things that really annoyed me, as well as everything I've already said and what Josh has said, you've got this mass herd of snakes. They kill sort of a boy in the sheds while he goes to get the horses. They then go into the shed later on. There's no sign of the snakes, don't know where they've gone, but they've got enough time to build up all these defences. But they sort of look around, they say, they even killed the horses. I'm sitting there thinking, no they didn't. There's a horse alive in the background, just happily sitting
Hello.
there. It's just like, wow, they're either really not observant or that horse is just a rubbish
I thought it would have
actor.
been great if the horse actually then waved.
What with?
Hoof.
Fair enough. Is that really a wave? Doesn't have to be a hand to wave.
Does it have to be a hand to wave? No, because seals
That would
wave with
technically
their
mean
flippers.
that birds are constantly waving.
Surely the act of just moving backwards and forwards can count as a wave.
So does that mean birds are waving?
Well, no, because they're not doing it as a form of greeting or farewell. They're just doing it to stay airborne. Whereas, like, seals do it.
Well, seals don't generally do it as a greeting or a goodbye.
What?
They just do it.
Seals do it.
Yeah, we're on a little tangent here.
Anyway, yes, shitty snake film with cowboys.
I prefer seals.
How about we do a remake, but with seals?
We could do.
Copper seals.
Let's
Sealheads.
get over the actual film bit and then we'll go on to talk about some seals
Okay.
for the last couple of minutes. The swarm of snakes really bad. Big snake, appalling CGI, the worst I've seen.
One of the bad guys looks like David Carradine, the other one looks like Nolan North.
There's random bits where a guy dances on a snake's body, which just confused me. Oh yeah, there's also a wonderful line in it which is used in most snake films. It annoyed me that it was used in this though because it wasn't as good. The whole snakes. God, I hate snakes. And then they realise that snakes can swim. Yeah, and also the time span. Didn't understand the time span of that film.
Takes place in like 1 or 2 days?
I don't know. It goes tonight, today, tonight, today, tonight, today. But I don't know.
I like the sheriff. Yeah, they basically have the sheriff character who they basically lock up in prison, and then at the end he gets killed by the giant snake.
He gets squished. That made me actually laugh, but the rest of the film didn't.
Yeah, it was funny.
I'm gonna
that
say,
show.
don't watch this film. It's appalling. It's not even fun. I'd say watch any of the films we've reviewed except for Snakes on a Train. And
Python 2.
I don't know. I'd say watch Python 2 over the top of this one. And I'd say don't check out Monster, which we'll hopefully go review soon, which was also awful. But yeah, I'd say don't ever watch this. Anything's better.
Avoid this film. Avoid it like the plague.
But yeah, I like seals.
Seals are good.
Um,
Let's make a horror film about seals.
a remake of this with seals in the Wild West would be amazing.
How would you have seals in the Wild West? There's no water.
They can have cowboy hats. I don't know. They've become I don't know. They've learnt to not have water, or they wear little
No, they should usually
backpacks
like
with
the.
water
What
in.
they should do like the archetypal snake film, where they're carrying a gigantic snake in like an airplane or whatever, or in a big truck,
Okay, they drop
across the
seals in the
country.
Wild West.
and then it breaks out and it gets out and it starts killing because that's what seals do.
Okay, tune in for when we actually finally make this seal Wild West killer mutant film.
Yeah,
But
tune
yeah.
in when we actually decide to when we actually make this personally.
But yeah, I say don't watch this. Okay, bye.
Sky.